What's up, everyone? It's the Autistic Scyther here, and, well, now it's time for part 2 of Top 10 Mario Power-Ups. Granted, I know a lot of people are gonna wonder, what about part 1? Well, part 1's already up, so it's right there on my channel. So, in this case, I suggest you watch part 1 first before moving on part 2. And then, soon after watching part 1, come back to it afterwards. So, now that we got that taken care of, let's keep on with the remaining entries on this list. In this case, the remaining 4. Alright. Starting off first at number 4, we have the Super Leaf. And when it comes down to it, I know most of you already know, Super Mario Land was one of my first Mario titles that I ever had and on the Game Boy. However, the second Mario platformer I ever owned was in Super Mario Bros. 3. Well, the Game Boy Advance remake of Super Mario Bros. 3. Being Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. And honestly, it's one of the few games I actually enjoy, even though I didn't get that far in that game. Yeah, I'm sensing a very weird pattern. Anywho, that being said, Super Mario Bros. 3 is actually one of my most fondest memories was playing through a lot of my Game Boy Advance games on my Game Boy Advance SP or my original Nintendo DS, which mostly included like the Gen 3 games, Pokemon Ruby, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, and yes, even Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. Of course, this allowed it enough for me to experience some of Mario's more classic power-ups. And one of them was the Super Leaf, which, honestly, I kind of enjoy it. I mean, not only does he turn into, well, what I thought was a raccoon, but I now know as a tanuki, but it allows him to allows him to both fly and basically attack with a tail sweep. And honestly, I actually found a lot of fun with this one. Granted, in fairness, things like the Hammer Bros suit or the Boomerang Flower would be on this list, but honestly, the Super Leaf is something I would always enjoy using. I mean, heck, even in the more recent titles like Super Mario 3D Land or Super Mario 3D World, it's always one of those that I have to have on me at all times. That being said, I don't want to be treated like a terrible person for enjoying this because of PETA. I mean, honestly, I know they're not gonna come after me, but honestly, you never know. There might be someone that's like a little overzealous enough to do that. So, fingers crossed I don't get attacked on the internet. Just fingers crossed. Moving on next at number 3, we have the Fire Flower. Yup, that's right. Mario's classic bread and butter tactic is honestly at the number 3 entry on this list. And honestly, I don't think there's ever any other item that I would want to use other than a Fire Flower. And basically, if you remember from when I mentioned during the Super Leaf entry. This is one of about the two that I would more or less hold on to at all times. Well, Fire Flower was the other one besides the Super Leaf. Because, honestly, you throw fire at your opponent. I mean, keep in mind, lightning is my element of choice. Lightning and electricity is my element of choice. I love Thunder Magic users, or anything involving Thunder Magic and Fire Emblem. I love electric type Pokemon. I'm kind of a techie and a bit of a nerd at heart, so yeah, it really does fit. But seeing me like a fire power-up like I do really says a lot. And again, this also goes with Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. As the first time I saw him, I basically used a Fire Flower. I basically was enjoying it. And honestly, keep in mind, I was also considering the Super Ball for this one. However, after some time, the Super Ball kind of fails in that regard. And I kind of prefer the Fire Flower. That being said, if I do end up getting Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I think my whole Fire Flower or hoarding tactic is going to stay intact. And especially since the way they do so in that game it actually looks pretty good. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe I might get the game. Guess who knows? Moving on next at number 2, we have the Super Bell. And, okay. Honestly, I've seen a lot involving this one during a lot of people's mentions of Super Mario 3D World being one of their favorite Mario titles, or I guess Mario platformers, or heck, Wii U games. And every time I've noticed this Super Bell, I was like, wait a second. Mario can transform into a cat. And after reading up a lot about that, and after so much of my time calling it the Cat Bell over the Super Bell, I know it is a very, and I mean a very embarrassing time of my life. But at least I'm able to realize, well, this one, I can see why a lot of people really love the Super Bell. And considering how I've played through Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury twice, really does say a lot. And honestly, the fact Mario can climb walls as a cat and pounce on opponents is kind of fun. Plus, as a person on the spectrum, I kind of have a bit of a connection with cats, so that one, it's kind of obvious I put that as high as I did. However, the Giga Cat Bell was honestly part of that reason as well, because they turned Mario into a Super Saiyan cat version of himself. I got no words. I mean, I got no words. That's one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire dang life. Seriously. That being said, please give us a Goku-esque This transformation in the next game, Nintendo. Please! And finally, we have the number one entry, the Mushroom, aka the Super Mushroom. Is there ever any doubt? I mean, I know it's kind of one of the most basic answers for a number one entry. I mean, even more basic as the Superstar being on this list, but can you blame me? I mean, the Super Mushroom has been in many a Mario platformer. It's been a staple of the entire Mario franchise as a whole. I mean, honestly, sure, the Super Bell is actually pretty awesome, and as someone who loves cats, it really says a lot. But honestly, I have to give it to the Super Mushroom since it's this power-up that basically makes Mario Mario. And honestly, if I had to say it, this is one of those that honestly, there isn't a... Keep in mind, every time I say, I take what I can get, I mean it. I take everything that I can get. I mean, in a Mario title, I mean it. And the Super Mushroom is just one of those Mario titles that I can take no matter what. And honestly, really I'll say a lot, since basically it gives you an extra bit of life so you don't die instantly. And knowing that I'm someone who has played a lot of video games that I have, mostly Pokemon Fire Emblem, with a few other titles on the side. If I haven't played a Mario platformer or a game for the first time, and I'm playing it for the first time, yeah, honestly, the simplest thing is always going to be the one that's going to be my go-to. And honestly, it's thanks to the Super Mushroom that I have to say, I really am glad that I've stuck with the Mario franchise for as long as I have. If it wasn't for it, I wouldn't be as deep into the Mario rabbit hole as I have. That's saying something. That being said, those are all my top 10. And that's my entire list of my top 10 Mario Bros. Power-ups. Alright. Now, when it comes down to it, considering how this has been one of my most interesting videos, and I thank everyone for those who have subscribed to me, since I already have 9 subscribers. And considering how I'm trying to grow my channel, even further, I'm still learning how to do it, but I'm gonna need all the help I can get. So, yeah. If you want to, just hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, toss a like, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, send a comment my way, and heck, maybe while you're at it, hit that hype button. Which, honestly, I'm gonna need all the help because I really want my channel to grow as big as it can before the end of this year, as an impassioned plea to all of you. Alright. So again, that being said, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.